Before big Sunday games, NFL just got lambasted with devastating news. And the bad news for the NFL keeps on coming. Alan Jones, who is the CEO of Hardwick Clothes and Check Into Cash, in a statement earlier this week said he had just about had enough of all this unpatriotic, quote, garbage over the national anthem in the NFL, and he's doing something about it. Jones ordered his private media buyer, the Tom Brass Group, to pull every and all of his company's commercials from all NFL games for the entire 2017 season. For all of the 29 states they operate in, he ended his statement by adding that he hoped that many more businesses follow Jones's lead after all of this outrageous, thuggish behavior the NFL condoning its employees to do without any repercussions whatsoever. Amen, Mr. Jones. This should come as no surprise to anyone who knows that Jones is a big fan and supporter of President Trump, who stated last month that he was ashamed of what's going on in the NFL and urged NFL team owners to fire players who take a knee during the national anthem. In response to that statement, hundreds of unpatriotic, ungrateful, rich ball tossers took a knee last, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back for many fans, businesses, and Alan Jones. There you have him. CNN reports early ratings for the NFL are down again, but maybe not because of President Trump. Did the national anthem protests and President Trump's harsh criticism of them hurt the NFL's rating on Sunday? Maybe. Then again, maybe not. The early ratings numbers, which are incomplete and subject to a great deal of change, showed CBS's numbers up compared to the same week last year, while NBC and Fox's numbers were down. But even if ratings are down year over year, the early numbers also indicate that ratings for this week's slate of games could end up being better than they were for the season's first 2 weeks, even despite the controversy. NBC's Sunday night football game, the Washington Redskins' lopsided 27-10 victory over the Oakland Raiders, nabbed an 11.6 overnight rating compared to a 12.9 rating for a matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys 1 year ago. That's a drop of roughly 10%. To come up with overnight ratings, Nielsen takes the percentage of households watching in 56 U.S. markets and comes up with an overnight average. So an 11.6, for instance, means that 11.6% of households in those 54 markets tuned into the game on NBC on Sunday night. In this case, it was actually 54 markets rather than the standard 56, because numbers for two major Florida markets, West Palm Beach and Fort Myers, are still delayed due to the effects of Hurricane Irma. Fox took a bigger hit overnight ratings for its single header slate of games were down 16% compared to last week's three numbers. But CBS's overnight ratings were up 4% compared to last year's Week 3 coverage. The network's two afternoon national games, one between the Green Bay Packers and the Cincinnati Bengals, and the other between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers, were basically even with last year. The network saw a huge boost for their pregame shows, though. CBS's pregame show, The NFL Today, was up 33% compared to last year and scored its best overnight rating since 2010. Fox's first pregame show, Fox NFL Kickoff, was up 30% compared to last year, while its second pregame show, Fox NFL Sunday was up 9%. Both networks tackled the political news of the weekend. So what does all of this mean? Hard to say. Overnight ratings can give a glimpse of which way viewership is going, but don't always tell the whole story. The overnight numbers for this week, combined with the generally sluggish ratings for the first 2 weeks of this season, are concerning to the NFL and its TV partners. But it's really early, and the NFL is still bringing in the biggest numbers on TV. Nielsen will release viewership data on Tuesday. Trump began a firestorm around the NFL on Friday night when he went after the league and attacked players who have been kneeling or sitting during the national anthem to draw attention to social justice issues. Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, "Get that SOB off the field right now. Out, he's fired." He's fired, Trump told a crowd in Alabama on Friday night. The protest began last season when quarterback Colin Kaepernick started kneeling during the anthem in protest of racial injustice. Trump's comments on Friday night shined a spotlight on the league and the protests, leading the network to change up their planned broadcasts of games and the anthems preceding them. Fox, CBS, and NBC all broadcast the national anthem live during football games Sunday. A notable shift away from their usual practice, ESPN, which also abandoned some of its usual pre-game chatter to talk politics, plans to air the anthem live on Monday Night Football. Poor CNN, they always seem to be in denial. More businesses need to follow his lead and boycott the NFL over this. Football is America, but sadly it has now been taken over by groups like George Soros's Black Lives Matter. Kneeling during the national anthem is the same as flipping off the country that made these thugs filthy rich for just tossing a ball around. It's a slap in the face at our military, police, and first responders, and it needs to stop immediately. Well, I agree. It needs to stop, but I would never go back to this. Not at all. Not at all. Good for him that he pulled out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and again, thank you so much for watching.